Hello hobby farmers, I'm Bevan Cohen, and today I'd like to talk to you about the chili pepper. Now, sweet or spicy, the chili pepper is a garden favorite. I'd like to share a little bit of its history, some of its uses, some of my favorite varieties, and then we're going to wrap up the video with some seed saving techniques so you can harvest the seeds from your peppers this year to enjoy in your gardens for years to come. Pepper juggling. The chili pepper actually originates down in South America, in the area that's now the country of Bolivia. And although we're familiar with these large bell peppers like this, the original chili pepper in the wild is a very, very tiny fruit indeed. It's quite a bit of domestication that's taken place, a lot of selection and breeding over thousands of years, millennia, to get to the fruits that we're familiar with from the grocery store. It's likely that peppers actually moved from Bolivia throughout South America up into Central America because of birds. Birds actually eat the fruits and carry them with them and disperse the seeds as they travel. It's an interesting thing to note that birds are not receptive to capsaicin, which is the chemical inside of the pepper that gives it its spice, right? That's what makes the pepper spicy. So the mammals, you and I and other animals, will stay away from it. Doesn't bother birds at all. So they can gobble these ripe peppers right up, and as they fly along, they disperse the seeds. Chili peppers have been a part of the indigenous diet for thousands of years, but they didn't make it into the cuisines of the world until the Spanish actually brought them with them over to Europe sometime in the 1500s. Since then, chili peppers have become a part of the cuisines and the cultures of countries all over the world, and they've been developed into so many different varieties. We got sweet bell peppers, we got poblano peppers, cubanelles, we got cayennes, so many different sizes, shapes, and flavors, but they all originated from that same tiny wild pepper from Bolivia. Most chili peppers are hot, and there's varying degrees of spiciness from one pepper to the next, and it's actually measured with what is known as the Scoville scale. That's how we measure the amount of capsaicin that's inside each of the different varieties. But some peppers have no capsaicin at all, and they're actually quite sweet to the taste. These are probably the most well-known, the bell pepper. There are levels of heat all the way up from sweet to so stinking hot, I won't even try eating them. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit something for everybody in the pepper world, that's for sure. Peppers are certainly useful in the kitchen, right? We can use them in our sauces and our salsas, or maybe fried with some onions or something like that. A lot of different ways that we can use them in the kitchen. But peppers are actually very useful in the apothecary. Herbalists utilize cayenne peppers all the time for their medicinals. It's the capsaicin, that which gives the pepper its heat, that chemical, that also has the medicinal benefit that the herbalists like to harness. It makes a wonderful topical for sore muscles, joint pain, arthritis, that sort of thing, typically used in an oil infusion. So we could take our cayenne peppers, dehydrate them till they're nice and dry, and then infuse them in oil for 4 to 6 weeks. That oil will extract the fat-soluble chemicals from that plant material to give us a very, very potent medicinal. We could then use that oil topically, just as it is, or we can blend it with some beeswax to make a salve. Growing chili peppers in your garden or at your hobby farm is a very simple thing to do, but there are a couple of things that we want to take into consideration. First and foremost, this is kind of a long season plant. Remember, it's from South America, right? It's going to need a long season, especially if you're looking to harvest ripe fruits. So you're going to want to start your seeds ahead of time. I recommend anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. So we're talking early spring. You're going to want to start your seeds in cells, in some soil, under lights in your home. You're also going to want to use a heating mat, right? These seeds, being from South America, like those warm temperatures, and the seeds are going to germinate significantly better at temperatures 75 degrees or warmer. They need that warmth. So using a heat mat is going to help keep that soil warm. It's going to help your seeds sprout faster. Once you get them going, you're going to want to wait till they're at least 2 sets of leaves tall, 2 sets of true leaves tall, and you're not going to want to put them out in your garden until well after a chance of frost. These things are not frost tolerant. We do not want to risk it, right? So wait till after chance of frost has passed and everything's nice and warm. If you can wait until your soil temperature is up to 70 degrees or warmer, that is ideal. Then you're going to want to put them out in a full sun area. If you've got it, that's what you're going to want. These plants are going to need as much sun as possible. And like I said, we need a long season to make sure we can get some ripe fruits. Once you find some chili peppers that you enjoy and you want to continue to grow that variety, I always recommend saving your seeds. Now, certainly you could buy them from your favorite seed company. We've all got our favorites, right? But sometimes we find a real cool variety, we fall in love with it, and we go to buy it next year and they don't carry it anymore. That'd be a shame, right? No worries. Saving pepper seeds is very easy to do. Let me show you how to do it. When we're saving our pepper seeds, the very first thing that we want to consider is, are the peppers ripe? Right? Understanding the maturity of the plants when we're harvesting their seeds is critical to successful seed saving. Now, a lot of us are familiar with the green bell pepper, the poblano, the jalapeno, and these are peppers that we're eating when they're green. They're not ripe yet. We're not going to get a lot of viable seeds out of these guys. We got to let them mature. A mature green bell pepper is actually a red bell pepper. These poblanos will actually turn red when they ripen as will the jalapenos. So making sure that we understand that we're working with ripe fruits is critical. Now look at this guy. Look at that brilliant red color. Now that's a ripe chili pepper. So we can harvest the seeds from this. The second important thing to note is if we're dealing with spicy hot peppers, we're going to want to wear some protection. Some sort of gloves or something, right? The capsaicin that's inside of the membranes here, it's mostly concentrated in that white membrane that holds the seeds, that gives the pepper its spice. We don't want to get that on our fingers, right? That's going to burn, especially if we touch ourselves in our eyes or our nose, any sensitive areas. If you do get some capsaicin on your fingers or anything like that, that burning sensation, think about it just like if you eat too much spicy food. Drinking water is not going to help. Nope. Drinking milk helps, right? Because the capsaicin is actually fat soluble. So if you get the spiciness on your fingers, on your eyes or anything like that, washing it out with milk, yogurt, butter, something with some fat, that's going to help a lot more than trying to wash it off with water. But let's avoid that and just wear some gloves when we work with our hot peppers. Now this long skinny pepper here kind of looks like a cayenne, but I happen to know because I'm familiar with the variety that this is not a spicy pepper, so I don't need to wear any gloves today. But this is how easy it is to save your pepper seeds. First, get yourself a cutting board and a knife. These are the two most important tools. We're going to cut open our pepper. I like to cut the stem end off, and then I'll cut the long way down the pepper so I can open it up, have access to all of the seeds. Then I'll get myself a paper plate. Paper plate's perfect for this sort of job. And I'm literally just going to take the seeds out of my ripe pepper, put them on my paper plate. All right? Scrape them all out there, get them on there. Simple stuff. Get a little bit of that membrane that comes with it that's holding on to all the seeds. That's okay. We'll just pick it up, rub all the seeds right off of it. And we want to make sure that we label our paper plate with the name of the variety. Labeling is critical as well, right? We're not going to remember what these seeds are for. We might be able to identify a pepper from its physical appearances, but on the inside, they're all the same. They're just like people. All the seeds look exactly the same. So we're going to want to label our plate with the variety name. And we're going to set this somewhere out of direct sun, just somewhere cool and dark to dry down. I'm going to say somewhere between 5 to 7 days is all that it should take for these to dry. Once you think the seeds are dry, when they appear dry to the eye and dry to the touch, give them just a couple more days just to make sure that they've dried all the way through. And once they're dried, we can package them up. There's a lot of benefits to saving our own seeds. Of course, if this variety is not available commercially anymore, I don't have to worry about it because I've got them. 2, I can save a few dollars. I won't have to buy seeds again next year. But the most important reason to save our seeds is because these peppers have started to adapt to my particular microclimate, right? How I grow my plants in the environment that I grow them. I will select from the best performing, healthiest plants, and I will get better performing, even healthier plants next year. Every time we save our seeds, it's that significant. Chili peppers are so much fun. So many different sizes, colors, shapes, and flavors. They're easy to grow. They're great in the kitchen. You can use them in the apothecary. There is no excuse not to grow peppers in your gardens, folks. So get out there, grow some peppers. All right, happy farming, everybody. If you want to learn all about saving seeds from your peppers and a number of other delicious garden edibles, check out my book, Saving Our Seeds, The Practice and Philosophy.